Hello Internet, Lieutenant Ellis here with the 299 Scouts, Dangerous Skills for Dangerous Places. It's drill number 14, my absolute favorite drill, moving while shooting. So in drill 13, we covered moving to go shoot, as in sprinting as hard as you can, getting to that bunker, leaning out, and pressing out that one shot, and then displacing to your next piece of cover. Now we're going to be covering in drill 14, if you're going from point A to point B and a target presents itself, a threat presents itself, you have to press that shot. Can you punch out and can you engage while moving between those pieces of cover? Now, this is my absolute favorite topic to cover, but it's not my top priority or else it would have been earlier on the list. I consider this essential because if you watch any kind of dash cam or security cam footage, when the bullets start flying, people start moving and they're ducking, diving, running sideways while shooting over counters, and it's not clean and it's not neat and it looks nothing like the range. So we start out on the range, we start on the flat range and we practice drill number 1, and you get that solid draw straight up, press out, and get the front side focus, and you take your shots because that's where you need to start. But pretty soon, right around now, drill number 14, you better start getting into the habit of running as hard as you can into different positions and taking shots, and if necessary, running while shooting. So, like I said, I've been in the Army for 18 years, I've gone to a lot of Army ranges, and they always teach moving while shooting the same way. The reason they teach moving while shooting as this static, everybody stays on line, everybody advances towards the target, is in the military, you're often going to be operating as a member of a team. You're going to be in that rolling T, moving through the trench line or moving down that corridor, and you can't be running diagonally and left, right in front of your other guy's line of fire. Your buddies will beat your ass if they don't accidentally shoot you. So the military has a very specific application and very specific purpose. You, as an armed citizen or a lone gunman out there gunfighting for your life, you don't have those same restrictions, and as a result, your tactics have to reflect that change in mentality and that change of mission. Here we are at the 299 Scouts indoor range set up for Time Crisis 2.
Time Crisis 2.
Okay, in my inexpert YouTube guy opinion, I feel that the way that most people train movement are teaching it wrong. Because the instructor is trying to replicate what he's seen in the military, where you're having a fire team moving in a rolling T, and he's trying to apply that to some lone concealed carry guy in a convenience store. He's teaching that same retreating away from the target or advancing towards the target, and that's an optical illusion. The only person that's making it difficult for them to shoot is me. I'm having it have to stabilize my upper torso, heel toe, and roll my heels, roll my feet towards the target. And meanwhile, the person who's shooting at me, it doesn't matter if I'm 10 feet closer or 10 feet further away, that bullet traveling thousands of feet per second is going to travel through all three of me. Another thing that instructors try to do is, because they've got their entire class online, all 20 people, all there ready to shoot at the same time, they'll do like this little MC Hammer shuffle thing, and they'll shift left, right, trying to simulate movement. But that's not enough. That's not going to get you off the X. That's not going to get you far enough where the bad guy realistically has to traverse far enough to catch you. And basically, a good indicator if an instructor is teaching movement correctly is if he has drills where everybody goes all at once, that's bad. If he has drills where you go one at a time to give each shooter the space they need to properly move dynamically, explosively off the X, that's my key indicators. I've only seen a few instructors that actually do that. Bob Smith here in Hawaii. I've seen Aaron Baruga on Guerrilla Approach when he still had YouTube videos up, and hopefully he's still running his training in California. And it goes by Knockout Lights on Facebook. His company, Assault Dynamics, all incorporate that gross, large movements of really covering a lot of terrain quickly in order to get out of that line of fire. So let's cover what we're actually going to need to do for this drill. So if I'm moving to my left, I could try to keep my weapon oriented towards the target and just rotate my torso like a turret and walk towards the target. But what you'll find is you'll get a point where you're going to get all bound up and you're going to have a difficult time being aligned towards the target with your weapon while you're moving towards your direction of travel. And I find that what's better is just to release your support hand, punch out with your strong hand, and move towards your direction of travel and align towards the target with your weapon. And so if you're not practiced on your one-handed firing, it's going to be difficult for you. But I consider that the best way to move quickly, not get bound up and not get all kinked up. We're actually slowing down and be able to run across from cover to cover and engage the threat properly. Now, if I'm moving from left to my right, I can keep both hands on the gun and I can keep my weapon up until a certain point. But at the same time, at one point, I will be getting kinked up, I will be all getting twisted, and it's going to be difficult for me to engage properly. So what I can do for this is I can honestly give myself a little bit of a half homie. I can give myself a cant. And that kind of brings it back into similar to the center axis relock that was kind of like a experimental pistol technique a few years back. And you pretty much only see it in Splinter Cell and John Wick chapters 1 and maybe even chapter 2. So with center axis relock, or this modified retention shooting position, I have still pointing my thumb towards the target, still index, and if I rotate the gun back towards me, it realigns that line of force, so I'm not bringing in tight where my wrist is broken and that angle is creating a path for the recoil to go. When I keep my wrist locked and I keep the gun rotated over, the recoil travels down my forearm and is directly in line, allows me to manage that recoil a little bit better. It brings the sights back into basically your reading distance, and so I can get a good, nice focus on that sight. I can find the sights easy, point towards the target, or if I want, I can pick an angle down, and I can angle down the slide, and I can point you towards the target. And that allows me to quickly move. I don't have this long fulcrum for this gun to be bouncing around out here. It's close in. It doesn't bounce as much. I've got clear focus on my sights, and the recoil is managed by my forearm. Okay, so the target that we'll use for Time Crisis 2 is this 9-inch in diameter PUBG pan. That guy breaks in your house trying to get a pan kill on you.
Let me die. Just don't pan me. No!
That pan will make a pretty good job of approximating the vital area of a person, give you a little bit of leeway so it's not too difficult. Now, what we're going to do as far as the standard for this, the standard on the channel is always no misses. It doesn't mean I never miss, just that I maintain the standard is no misses. As a civilian or a police officer or a soldier, you're accountable for every round that you send down range. Now, that being said, for this drill, how do we know that we're moving as fast as we can? The answer is that we have to push ourselves to 100%. Now, how do we know if we're at 100%? Well, if you hit 101%, you start missing. So for this drill, I challenge you you can start out walking, and we'll start out, I don't know, call it arbitrary 60%. We're going to be walking, and we should be able to get good hits on target every single time. Once we're comfortable moving left, right, getting 100%, no misses, hits on target, then we need to start picking up the speed. I'm going to maintain a counter up here. It's going to show all my hits and all my misses, and we're going to keep picking up the speed until we start missing. That's how we know that we're at 100% speed and accuracy balance.
That's killing in motion.
Okay, so that's drill number 14, Time Crisis 2, moving while shooting. If we didn't prioritize some of the other silly things that we prioritize in shooting drills, all those like high round count, keeping track of your bullets drills or whatever, we could put more focus towards this moving and shooting, which I consider a much more essential task than any of those other drills. So I hope you enjoyed that drill. It's a lot of fun, and it's something that honestly the ranges where I'm at don't allow for you to run dynamically, diagonally while shooting all that often. Hopefully you've purchased your airsoft gun, links are in the description, so you can just continue to practice at home, and you'll find that the opportunities that are afforded by using airsoft in your home, where you're not worried about the 180 rule and you're not worried about whatever range restrictions you have, are going to teach you a lot more about the dynamics of a gunfight than you'd ever be able to do on a live fire range. Dry fire and airsoft doesn't replace live fire, but it does give you additional insights and additional training value that you wouldn't get otherwise. Alright, so until then, hopefully you order your airsoft gun and keep training through this whole lockdown. Good luck and keep training.